It's Tuesday, September 7th, 2021. Before I start today's video, I want to remind everybody out there, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you share this video. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification down below so that you are alerted when the newest videos come available. You know, the only way to delay this economic crisis is to continue to make this bubble bigger. And the bigger this bubble gets, the worse the fallout is going to be when this bubble bursts. And we have made this bubble so big, and it is going to be so horrific when this bubble bursts. It is going to be catastrophic. It's going to be biblical, ladies and gentlemen. And just reading some of the news today, watching some videos earlier, just made me really think, how bad is it going to be when this bubble bursts? And it's going to be very bad. 10 million people lost their unemployment benefits yesterday. And what does this mean? It means a lot of people are going to have to go back to work, right? And reality now is kicking in for millions of people with the rental evictions, with benefits now expired, with having to go back to work, many going back to the service sector, leisure and hospitality, going back to the fast food industry. Now, the In-N-Out hamburger restaurant that is going to be opening in Rancho Mirage, 5 minutes from where I'm making this video right now, they have a sign right now taking applications. They're paying $20.50. I saw a McDonald's billboard a couple months ago, $18. Sign-on bonuses at a lot of these restaurants now. And this just tells me to get ready for more inflation. Every time you go and get a coffee, every time you go out to eat, it's going to get more and more expensive, because now we're paying people $18 to work at McDonald's, $20.50 to work at In-N-Out to make hamburgers and flip French fries. It's insane. And I know most of you believe the same thing. Get ready, because the inflation that we're seeing right now is just the tip of the iceberg. The Federal Reserve bought $1 trillion of mortgage bonds since March of 2020, $40 billion per month. When you take into account what they're buying in mortgage bonds and the artificially low rates that we're seeing in the housing market, the Fed's fund rate nearly zero, this is creating a massive housing bubble in America, and it is going to burst. We have so many bubbles. I can't even keep track of the amount of bubbles now that we have here in America. Article today on CNBC, 48% of renters worry they won't ever be able to buy a home, survey finds. And I was watching last night and a little bit earlier today. I watch Dave Ramsey every once in a while. Now, I don't believe everything Dave Ramsey says. I don't agree with everything he says. But one of the reasons I watch his show, it's because the people that call in, and I'm just shell-shocked at times with some of the phone calls that he receives, and the amount of debt that people are in, young people especially. And a lot of these 48% of renters are young people. And with the amount of inflation, housing prices, the cost of day-to-day living, college tuition debt, these people are in big trouble. They're never even going to be able to pay back their college tuition debt, let alone buy a home. They can barely pay rent at this point. Now, I do believe we're going to see a big housing correction. I believe we're going to see a collapse in the housing market. I believe we're going to see multiple bubbles burst, and we're going to see catastrophic damage because of this. But we're also going to see huge opportunity. But if you have $100,000 in college tuition debt, you have $20,000 in auto debt, you have $8,000 in credit card debt, you're never going to take advantage of the opportunities. And for young people, they're already debt slaves. They're never, ever going to get out of debt. They have a degree that is worthless with $80,000 or $100,000 of college tuition debt. And they're going to be working in leisure and hospitality. They're going to be working in the service sector for probably most of their life, maybe forever. I don't see how they're going to get out of this debt. Americans held $34 trillion in real estate assets in the first quarter of 2021, or 23% of total household assets, according to the Federal Reserve. Households also had $11 trillion in total home mortgage liabilities. This wealth, ladies and gentlemen, can be wiped out pretty quickly. And what happens when we see a housing correction and a housing collapse? People who thought they were wealthy are going to find out that they're not, because all their wealth is in their home. And I believe right now that a home, that if you just purchased a home in the last couple of years, may be a huge liability. And people are going to wake up one day and they're going to realize that, yeah, they paid $20,000 over listing, $50,000, $100,000 over listing, and they're going to find out that they made a huge mistake, and there's going to be huge regrets with people who bought a home in the last couple years. No doubt about it. I see a huge housing collapse coming to America, and this means that we're going to see wealth in the middle class especially absolutely ripped apart, wiped out. Another classic example of the wealth transfer. All they have to do is burst a housing bubble and millions of people are going to be absolutely wiped out. This is definitely going to be not a normal September for the rapidly imploding U.S. economy. Michael Snyder today. And just to paraphrase through this article, a couple highlights here. What happened to the good times? We were supposed to be having those good times right now, ladies and gentlemen. Remember the recovery, the booming recovery, the booming economy. Larry Kudlow every day comes out and says this economy is on fire, it's booming. Maybe I'm missing something. Please comment down below. Let me know what's happening in your area of the country. Is it booming? Maybe if you're in Florida, things are still booming because real estate is still doing well there. But I'm seeing parts of the map now, majority of them, where things are cooling off, where more and more listings are becoming available. Prices are cooling down. Let me know what you see. The wheels are coming off the economy, and it's going to get much worse, ladies and gentlemen. We're now watching more factory shutdowns, which will make shortages worse than they are now. Government and central banks have been flooding the system with cash. As you know, we have way too much cash chasing fewer goods and services. Prices are going to get much higher, according to Michael Snyder. I think you and I could all agree with that. Thursday, GM announced it will be closing down almost all of its manufacturing facilities due to the ongoing chip shortage. And what does this mean for workers at these facilities? What does it mean to the people employed by car dealerships all across America, the people that service these dealerships? What does it mean when they're not making cars at this point? Ford is slashing production due to the lack of chips also. They're once again cutting production of its F-150 pickup truck and other highly profitable vehicles. Production of its Super Duty and Expedition SUV have also been severely impacted. GM sales are down 39% this year compared to last. Ford is down 33%. Containers are stacked up at the ports, according to Michael Snyder in this article. No surprise, I filmed that about a month ago. Multiple times. 44 ships off the coast of Los Angeles currently. Railroads are backlogged. Driver shortages for semis. They don't have enough drivers. They can't get the containers out of the ports fast enough. They can't unload the ships fast enough. They can't get products on the railroads quick enough. So my question is, what is this going to look like this fall and this winter? Let me know what you think. Is it going to get better? Is it going to get worse? My opinion, it's going to get much, much worse. The hedge today. Is anyone willing to call the top of the everything bubble? The short answer, no. According to this article, anyone earning money managing other people's money cannot afford to be wrong. And so everyone in the herd prevaricates on timing. Everyone can see what's coming. But the tsunami of central banks' liquidity has washed away any semblance of rationality. S&P 500 stocks are over 10 times annual sales. Extreme bubble, ladies and gentlemen. The everything bubble dwarfs The dot-com bubble that we saw in the early 2000s, it dwarfs the housing bubble of 2005, 6, and 7. Can extremes become too extreme to continue? The answer is we are about to find out. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are coming to the end of these bubbles. Can they inflate more? Yes. Can they inflate a lot more? I don't think so. I think we're getting very, very close to something very, very big happening financially here in America. And I think we're going to witness a tragic end to these markets, to these bubbles, to this economy. And what rises up from the ashes, I don't know. How do we look, this economy is imploding right before your very eyes. These markets will implode. They are being artificially held up. They are literally stilts on quicksand, and it is all sinking. The house of cards is coming down, ladies and gentlemen, sooner or later. The economy is on life support. Stock market still pumping away with all this artificial medicine. But the medicine is going to wear off. And when it does, wow, we are going to be in a place we've never been. And it is going to be very, very scary. And my question is to you, please comment down below. How do we immerse ourselves out of the ashes? How do we rise out of these ashes? How do we ever come back if we're not producing, we're not manufacturing, people are sitting at home choosing not to work, but instead go on a vacation that the government's paying for? How do we come back? How does America come back? And where does China sit in all of this? Is China going to be the next world superpower? Will they have the next world reserve currency? Will it be backed by gold? Will it be digital? What's it going to look like a couple years from now? Does America have a chance to recover? Can it save itself, or is it over? Will the torch be passed on to China? Let me know. I just have a very difficult time seeing how all this plays out when we do collapse, because we are collapsing right now. And the stock market, everything is going to implode without a doubt. It's happening. It's already begun. We cannot go back. The wheels are in motion. Question is, when we hit rock bottom, can we get back up? Can this be salvaged? I don't have an answer. I don't know. Right now, I'm just doing the best I can to look out for me and my family, and I advise that you do the same. But as a country that doesn't manufacture, doesn't produce, and pays people to sit at home and produce nothing, how do we rebound? Are people in America now tough enough mentally, spiritually, physically to work their way out of this? I don't know. But I think that this depression is going to be a lot worse than the last Great Depression. Much worse. Prepare, ladies and gentlemen. Tough times are coming, and it's going to be tough people who survive it. Weak people are going to get absolutely decimated. God bless. Be safe out there.